If you grew up obsessed with the Addams Family, odds are you're in love with Netflix's new Wednesday. And if you didn't know who Jenna Ortega was before, you certainly do now. The lead Wednesday actress of the brand new Tim Burton-directed series broke records with a staggering 341 million hours watched in its first week. But the 20-year-old star fought tirelessly to get where she is now. Jenna fell in love with acting when she was only 6 years old, but her parents told her there was no way in hell they'd let her follow that dream. Still, she persisted, and after laying out a dramatic show for her mother and wowing her, she agreed to let the kid try it, and her life has never been the same since. So, if you want to know more about the crazy life of Jenna Ortega, stick around. Let's start from the beginning. Jenna Ortega was born in California on September 27, 2002, to a loving family. Her Hispanic descent comes from her father, who is Mexican, and her mother, who has Mexican and Puerto Rican genes. She's the fourth child among 6 siblings. Jenna has always been intrigued by the entertainment industry since she was 6, and by the time she got to the age of 8, she already began going to multiple auditions with her mom, so it was no surprise her career took off. Even though some celebs didn't have to audition after 2 years of going back and forth between various auditions, Jenna still had to. Then finally, she landed her first acting role in 2012 when she was just 10 years old. Her acting debut came in the episode Baby Bug of the TV show Rob. And after her appearance on the TV show, she played Amy Moore in the unspoken episode of CSI New York. Then it was finally time for her debut on the big screen when she scored a minor role as the child of the vice president in the film Iron Man 3. She went on to star in the second movie of the Insidious franchise as soon as she finished filming for Iron Man 3 and got a supporting role as the character Annie. And then all of a sudden, she was making a name for herself out there. But it came at a price. It wasn't always fun and games. Her success came at a cost. Even so, being thrust into the limelight at such an early age had its downsides for Jenna, who later acknowledged that she was forced to grow up too quickly and struggled with the incredible pressure that comes with living in the public eye. She's also talked about how difficult it was for her to sacrifice major milestones in her childhood, many of which we take for granted, like prom or graduation, all for her career, but she's overall grateful for everything that she's accomplished, and she should be. Jenna describes herself as a weirdo who enjoys all the disturbing or off-putting things. She's conceded to being attracted to serial killers, probably Ted Bundy, and monsters, and even performing autopsies on animal carcasses as a child. That's what ended up drawing her to Wednesday, and it's probably why she did such a good job of depicting the dark, wry, and maniacally obsessed with death character previously played by Christina Ricci in the 1991 film The Addams Family. But she was making a name for herself before that. She was booming in the industry only 2 years after landing her first role. She became part of the cast of Rake in 2014 as Zoe Leon, which aired for 5 seasons, ending in 2019. She also had a recurring role as the younger version of the main character Jane on the romantic drama TV show Jane the Virgin at the time. In the same year, she played Mary Ann in the comedy movie The Little Rascals Save the Day. The very next year, she was cast as Darcy, the gold digger who enjoys spending Richie's money in the Netflix original series Richie Rich. The young actress continued to land roles as she progressed through her career. In 2016, she was cast as Harley Diaz in the Disney Channel sitcom Stuck in the Middle. The show aired from 2016 to 2018 and was well received by the audience, so it established her as a familiar figure in the industry. In addition, she was honored with an Imagen Award for her outstanding performance on the series. But that's not all. Despite starring in one Disney show, she went on to join the cast of another, Elena of Avalor, in 2016. She played the voice of Princess Isabel. That show ran for 4 years before coming to an end in 2020. She received one more Imagen Award for this show and was nominated for more awards, too. She joined the second season of the hit Netflix series You in 2019, playing Ellie Alves, the neighbor of stalker-slasher murderer Joe Goldberg, beside the amazing Penn Badgley and Victoria Pedretti. With dozens of projects already in her reach, she's beginning to solidify her career in Hollywood. In 2021, she played the lead role of Veda in the high school drama called The Fallout. And let us tell you, her performance was excellent. She received overwhelmingly positive responses from both critics and viewers. The fact is, Jenna Ortega's films are generally well received by both these groups. Luck and persistence work together to push her to the top. Jenna Ortega appears to be reaping the rewards of her efforts in 2022. She has 4 movies and 1 TV show under her belt in 2022. She appeared in several horror thriller films in 2022, including American Carnage, X, Scream, and Studio 666. With all of the horror movies she's done, she might become the next Vera Farmiga. She is currently making headlines in Hollywood as the lead role of Wednesday Addams in the Netflix show Wednesday. This role has gained her enormous popularity, and she doesn't seem to be slowing down in her pursuit of fame and success in the entertainment industry. Wednesday and Tim pushed her out of her comfort zone. When Jenna landed the role of Wednesday Addams in Netflix's new series, which aired on November 23rd, she admitted that she was nervous about playing the iconic character before doing so. She said that she'd never played someone who had already been played before, especially so perfectly. She went on to say that it's strange to do something that people have already formed opinions and ideas about, and then try to do something unique that doesn't drift too far from the character, while also placing her in a different world or environment. There's a lot of stress that comes with a job like that. She was also nervous about having to work with renowned director Tim Burton, but she later raved about the experience, calling it incredible. She said that she didn't know exactly what to expect from him, but soon learned every time she'd spoken to Tim previously, he's been a man of very few words. She says you can talk to him for only 5 minutes about something important, but he always goes into greater detail about matters to do with the set. She recalls being nervous to keep shooting with him on the first day because she didn't know what to expect. They'd spent 2 hours working on Wednesday's braids because he kept going over and saying, "No, that's wrong. No, this is not straight." The back of her neck was then shaved to create the perfect line. On the day they were cutting her hair, there were hair and makeup artists cutting new extensions in the trailer while they were speaking and shooting. He took a hairdresser's brush and combed her hair himself, separating her fringe hair by her hair until it was in the position he sought. Then he sprayed it with hairspray to keep it from moving. Jenna described him as intense and meticulous. He refused to film anything that didn't satisfy that itch in his brain after they set up the look, which was also very interesting for her to see him do because he's such a great thinker. She thinks it's very fascinating to see. He always directed with grace. He knew everyone's names, but he was quiet and reserved. If he felt he was in the way, he would excuse himself. Jenna had a great time working with him. She noted that she has never worked with anyone on that level before, but she has worked with people on lower levels who have been unprofessional to the crew or don't know how to talk to an actor, and it doesn't feel like a collaboration in those cases. She never had that problem with Tim. He's one of her favorite directors she's ever worked with. She believes she learned a lot from him and that he was always eager to teach. All in all, Jenna was blown away by this sweetheart of a creature. She wasn't sure what to expect, but claims it's impossible to be nervous after getting to know him. He simply wanted you to feel at ease and ready to do whatever you were doing, which is fantastic. Also, she shot a scene despite having COVID. Do you remember when Wednesday performs a captivating dance routine set to Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps in the 4th episode of the season? You know the one. We know you tried copying it too. As she performs the weird yet confident moves, her face remains totally blank and expressionless. She wouldn't even blink. It adds to the mystery of the moment, which has now become a meme and TikTok trend, with fans trying to recreate the dance moves in their own videos, which are usually set to Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary. Sadly, the now viral scene has gotten even more attention and a lot of backlash after the actress admitted to having COVID-19 while shooting the scene of the dance. Apparently, she'd woken up that day and gone to set despite feeling incredibly sick, but she had to shoot as they were running out of time, and they were still waiting on her test results. Fans immediately chastised the streaming giant for pushing Ortega to shoot while she was feeling sick, and shortly after, Netflix issued a statement saying strict COVID protocols were followed, and the production separated Jenna from the set once the positive test was revealed. Ah well, we're just shocked she just did such a great job anyway. She's also a humanitarian. Jenna is deeply committed to helping immigrants and has consistently spoken out about embracing her culture. In 2018, she hit the headlines when she wore a jacket with the words, "I do care and you should too," written on the back to the Radio Disney Music Awards. The outfit was inspired by a coat worn by former First Lady Melania Trump when she visited immigrant children, which read, "I really don't care, do you?" She's definitely the kind of girl who stands up for what she believes in, and she's kind and loves spreading that positive energy. One thing she isn't really fond of is social media, and she tries her best not to read anything on it or pay attention to it as much as possible. This is because she thinks people sway a lot, so it's either all in or completely out, and she doesn't believe it would be good for her. Jenna's next project is the upcoming Paramount Plus thriller Finest Kind, in which she will co-star with Tommy Lee Jones, Ben Foster, and Toby Wallace. She'll also appear in the 6th Scream film, as well as the new Lionsgate film Miller's Girl, next to Martin Freeman. She also hopes to work behind the camera one day. In an interview, she noted that she strives to be a director one day. And that's all for today's video. What do you think of Jenna's crazy life? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.